because it's time now for 2 Minutes With. This is kind of a chance to be inspired, encouraged, challenged, but that is never up to me. This is up to our guest. And this week, it's wonderful to have with us the Vicar of St Luke's Sway in Hampshire, and that is Jane Mitchell. Morning, Jane.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you, Steve?
I'm doing very well. I finally got it right. I'll tell you why I keep saying you're in Dorset. I've written it down here as Dorset. I've just noticed. I mean, what am I doing?
No, it's Hampshire.
It is Hampshire. Yes, I got a very, I wouldn't say angry message yesterday, but a very forthright message saying, by the way, it's Hampshire. So, anyway, I'm going to have to change my thing I've written down here. That explains a lot. Now, this week we're talking a lot about getting out and about in creation, and for those who may have missed this fact, you are Sway in Hampshire, which is in a wonderful part of the New Forest. So, what if you've got, like, let's say you've got a day off? What is your number one favourite thing to go and do, and the place to go and be?
I think personally it would be go down to the Keyhaven marshes and go out in a kayak or a small dinghy. Being on the water for me, all that stillness and beauty and immersion in nature has got to be my go-to place.
And I'm imagining also, Jane, that there's a lot of wildfowl places around there as well, places for wildlife watching.
That's right. Well, that Keyhaven Marshes is an RSVP sanctuary nature reserve, so it's just acres of beautiful wildlife to watch. Or go into the forest. Just get into the car and just 5 minutes to a car park, and then immersed into the forest, or just get out on the bike and just be out in nature.
Making me jealous again, just like yesterday. I mean, I don't know about
Sorry
you.
about that, Steve.
No, that's all right. I don't know about you, but I always find that when you get out into that sort of environment, it seems to slow life down. It slows everything down. It slows your rate of thinking. Your breathing becomes deeper. Everything. It just seems to be good for every part of you.
I think it is. It just brings a sense of wholeness and well-being, and for, in the Christian faith, and just knowing that God's creation is all around you and you're immersed in it. It just brings a new and a fresh and a beautiful perspective to life when we can feel quite stressed out or things going on in life.
Well, I don't want to steal too much of your thunder, because that's kind of what we're talking about this week. So I'll shut up now and leave it over to you. It's all yours, Jane.
So each day this week, I've been thinking about a different mode of transport. Monday we had sailing, yesterday it was walking. So today I'm going to talk about driving. And the challenge, if you like, is for us all, is who is in the driving seat of our lives. Most of my work as a vicar church leader happens within walking distance, which is incredible, or connected on Zoom like now, or via phone. If I need to go out the village of Sway for meetings or to meet people, I simply drive across the cattle grids, and within a couple of minutes, I'm into the expanse of the New Forest National Park. The forest is not all trees, as you might naturally expect from the description. There are, in fact, long stretches of open heathland with heather and gorse, often with distant views, sometimes out towards the Isle of Wight. There are beautiful ponies grazing, and it's not unusual to see a collection of donkeys munching away and tidying the roadside banks. Driving anywhere takes that little bit longer, as often I have to stop for animals to cross the road. Sometimes they can even be stock still, asleep in the middle of the road, and that takes a while. I often wonder and ask the question, Lord, how did I end up here as a vicar? And then I reflect. Since I gave my life to Christ, age 21, saying yes to Jesus and praying, Lord, your way, not mine, God has been in the driving seat, not me. He has directed my way. As a student, I read Matthew's Gospel, chapter 7, verse 7, that changed my life forever as I received the salvation of Christ. Ask, and it will be given to you. Search, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and everyone who searches finds. There is such ultimate healing, wholeness, and well-being in our very salvation that eclipses all earthly stresses and trials. So as I drive across the New Forest, I remember that Christ is in the driving seat of my life, and I am simply called to follow him, and he does the rest. So the reflection and question I leave today is, who is in the driving seat for your life? Is there something particular in your life you could simply take to Jesus and ask him about? Something you could earnestly seek through prayer and reading the scriptures, or actively knock at the door? For the promise is that the door will be opened. Praise his holy name. Amen.
Amen. It's interesting, isn't it, Jane? That it seems that a lot of the time we don't really seem to be willing to totally hand over the driving seat to God. We want to be in control of our own lives. And I mean, I meet countless people who they just don't want to relinquish that control. I wonder why that might be.
It's a question of losing control is a difficult thing, isn't it? And really making that step to trust Jesus is massive. It was massive for me, age 21. I thought, gosh, I'm never going to be able to decide anything or do anything. But actually, he knows and is better than I am. And it's that step of faith, isn't it, to just trust him. And then, of course, it's an ongoing, lifelong thing to trust him in every single aspect. And that's just an ongoing discipleship we all struggle with and all come back to. So I think it's bit by bit. It wouldn't be called faith if we didn't have to have an element of trust. So I just encourage each person and ourselves today just to take that step today that he wants us to take and trust in him, ask, seek and knock.
You heard the lady. That's absolutely right. If you'd like to hear, by the way, today's 2 Minutes with Again, or indeed earlier in the week, I will tell you how you can do that after we've played the next song. But Jane, thank you so much for your input today. Can't wait to hear what you've got for us tomorrow.
Great to be with you. See you tomorrow.